Good evening, all. Still redneck again. We'll talk about a few things tonight. Matter of semantics, I guess. Okay. So they're going through with this impeachment thing, saying Donald Trump started an insurrection and all this because he had a rally before the protest in Capitol Hill where a few hundred people decided to show their ass. Okay, fine, dandy. You want to have a show trial that don't mean nothing? Go ahead, just remember you're starting down a slippery slope. Because they can turn around and take that against every past president we ever had. So, just bear that in mind. Funny thing is, a lot of this is over the fact that some politicians got butthurt because Donald Trump was making things work. But the semantics I'm wondering about. Okay, you got a peaceful protest that gets out of control. People get hurt. Building gets a little damage to it. Things get stolen, taken. Why is it in one case it's an insurrection? When it happens all summer long in numerous cities, it's called a peaceful protest. Can somebody explain that one to me? Because it boggles my mind how just because it didn't happen in the politician's town or in what they consider to be their house, it's just a peaceful protest. But when it inconveniences them, it's an insurrection against the country. Everybody's coming down on the Capitol Police for not being prepared for it. Well, I happen to disagree with that. It was well advertised that there was going to be a protest march into the Capitol for well over a month. Capitol Police are controlled by Congress. To get more people there, you have to have Congress's approval. The Nancy Pelosi's, Chuck Schumer's, and all them have to say, yes, okay, do it. From everything I understand, the Capitol Police Chief requested backup. Requested more troops to be standing by or more police to be standing by in case there was a problem. He was told, oh, you don't need to. Okay. Then why blame him? Because you need a scapegoat? Because you were wrong? Because, oh my God, you're never allowed to be wrong? If he didn't know that this was going to happen, how did the D.C. mayor know about it enough to put a 6 p.m. curfew on the whole city before the rally was even over with? Or maybe I'm just asking questions. I don't know. You've got Congress up in arms because their house got damaged. They have to call in 25,000 National Guardsmen to protect the inauguration. They have to throw this hype out that there's going to be armed protesters in every state capital on the day of the inauguration. They're hyping everything where they're trying to scare everybody over everything. Now you hear all this talk about how can you deprogram the Republicans. You should teach your kids it's okay to turn in your parents if they're Republicans. It's okay to turn them in if they were at the Capitol. Blah, 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 blah. So in other words, they're putting it out on the table that they are trying to turn this country into a communist country. They've pretty well destroyed all the morals of the country. They say whatever it is they think the people want to hear just so they can keep their power and not do anything. Now all of a sudden, before Biden's inauguration, they were all talking, oh, you're going to get this $2,000 stimulus. Now after he's been inaugurated, okay, it's only going to be $1,400 because you already got $600. But then they keep giving like $4.5 trillion or billion to South American countries. Let's see. Giving it to other countries rather than the American people. And where are your values at? And it's awful funny if anybody hasn't been paying attention to the news. Oh wait, you watch the cable news. It doesn't say anything but written words are told to speak. Ever since Trump's been out of office, now you got China flexing their muscles, sending bombers over Taiwan. You got Rocket Man in Korea flexing his muscles. Because he ain't worried about Biden one bit. You got Iran making threats. And I'm sure Putin's in there someplace making threats. Now, why is it the minute Trump's out of office, all these people start standing up and shaking their sabers at us again? Maybe he had it right. It's going to be a long 4 years, people. Have you ever bothered to ask yourself who's being the puppet master here? The clues are all right there. All you gotta do is open your eyes. Look who Joe Biden is picking for his cabinet and his advisors. That points you the right direction right there. Who's the only president that didn't move out of Washington after his term in office? I don't understand it. And I think it's all funny that Tiba, Democrats' favorite little hit squad, decided to throw more riots on the day of his inauguration, cussing him out. You woke up the monster, now you can't control it? Now, how are you going to blame that on Trump? How are you going to do that, Mr. Biden? Your spin doctor is that good? You got a poll that tells you how to do it? Oh, I know. Those were the Proud Boys disguising themselves as Atiba and dressed up like them and speaking their words and mantra. Yeah, that's what it was. Because your boys would never do that to the Democratic headquarters in Portland. That's sacred ground to them. I said this before, I'll say it again. You create a mob, you fire it up, you fund it, you turn it loose. You're never going to get it under control again. Now, all you folks that thought that the protest in Washington, D.C. was insurrection, give that some thought for a minute. If the conservative people wanted to have an insurrection, and they wanted to take over the Capitol, you think they would have tried to do it with just a couple crowbars and selfies, or sitting at a desk and all that? You're so worried about the conservative and their weapons and all this stuff. You think they couldn't have got them in there? You got another thing coming. You people as stupid as you are acting? I can't believe you are. I don't want to believe you are. Are you going to let a couple politicians' hatred for a man who was a non-politician that was doing what he said he would do bring this whole country down? Simply because it toes the party line? If you are, you're not Americans. We're free thinkers in this country. Or at least we used to be. But if you have your way about it, we'll all be sitting there at little screens going, oh, Lord God, Google, or Amazon, or Apple, what am I allowed to do today? You know? Fuck that. You know, I have a use for high tech. I use it in my job and for my relaxation. But I'm not going to let it control my life. It's not going to tell me what I can think or what I can't. I use YouTube to post my videos till the day they get pulled. When they get pulled, I have other options. I've already got them loaded. I can always bounce them to another server. If you don't let the people think and talk, pretty soon you don't have people. You have nothing but mindless drones. Is that what you want? You know, I thought it was real funny. Something I heard on Tucker Carlson. Jeff Bezos, I believe owns Amazon, was all for mail-in balloting for federal election. Pushed for it real hard. If he believes in it so much, why doesn't he believe in mail-in balloting for unionizing his warehouses? Why is he dead set against that? It's good for the goose. It's good enough for the country. It's good enough for you. Unless you think you're above the country. Chances everybody quit using Amazon is slim and none. That's like saying I'm never going to Walmart again because they pulled all their Republican funding. But we know that's not going to happen. Because in this economy, you need every deal you can get. Even it is making a deal with the devil. Well, if the words make sense to you, tell me so. Get a comment about it, leave one below. If you'd like to send me an email, send it to redneckrebel1956@gmail.com. I'll answer it. For now, I'd like you to remember all our military men serving overseas and home. Remember our vets coming home and the ones that are here. Give them a hand up, not a handout. Most of all, remember our fine people in law enforcement, fire, and EMTs. They're standing the line so you don't have to, even if you don't appreciate it or respect them. I always will. And I keep praying to God that one of these days our politicians will get their head out of their ass and start remembering they work for us, not we work for them. This is the old redneck. Have a good evening. Good night.